Have you ever stopped to think about your life as a story? You know, a story with a beginning, a middle, and a future that's still unwritten. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to explore that story, your story. We'll take a look at where you've been, where you are right now, and where you're headed. So let's get into it. So to kick things off, I've got a question for you. If your life is like a book, which chapter do you think is the most important? Is it the beginning, your past, the middle, your present, or the end, your future? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Let's keep that in mind as we go. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the threads of time. Then we'll dig into some lessons from your past. After that, we're going to focus on action in your present, and we'll wrap things up by creating some visions of your future. Okay, let's dive right into our first section, the threads of time. This is all about seeing how your past, present, and future are not separate things, but are actually woven together. So let's start with this first big question. I'm going to read it out for you just as it is. Number 1, among our past, present, and future, which one is more important? How are they related to one another? This is really the heart of what we're talking about today. And this really shows that connection perfectly, right? Your past is what shaped you. Your present, well, that's the direct result of everything that's happened before. And your future, that's built by what you're doing right now. So which one matters most? You can make a great case for the present. You could say something like, I think the present is most important because it's the only time I can actually do something. Okay, let's move into our second section, lessons from your past. It's time to look back a little and think about both the wins and, well, the not-so-wins. So let's start with what can be a tough but super important question. Number 2, what was your failure in the past? How does it affect your future? You know, we've all been there, and honestly, those moments can be our best teachers. So, how did a failure change you? What was the lesson? It doesn't have to be some huge thing. It could be anything. A great way to think about this is to use a sentence starter like, because of this failure, now I always make sure to double-check my work. It's all about finding that lesson hidden inside the mistake. All right, let's flip the script and focus on the good stuff. Here's question number 3. What was your success in the past? How does it affect your future? Successes are what build us up, right? They give us that push to keep going. Think about a time you were really, truly proud of yourself. How does that feeling still impact you? For example, you might say, my success in finishing that project gave me the confidence to lead my team. And that brings us right to the most powerful time of all, right now, the present. In this third section, we're going to focus on what you can actually do today. Let's think about question number 4. What is the most important thing to you in the present? Why? Are you working hard to make it happen? So what's your number 1 priority at this moment? What's the one thing you feel like you have to work on? Think about the little things you're doing every single day to get closer to that goal. This is where the magic happens, connecting your daily habits to your biggest dreams. And that leads us perfectly into our next question. Number 6, what do you have to do now in order to have a better future? This is all about turning those big goals into a real, actual plan. The key here, really, is to have a plan. Break that big, intimidating dream into smaller, more manageable steps. You could say something like, to achieve my goal of getting a new job, first I need to update my resume. Then I will start applying to 3 jobs a week. But of course, the road ahead isn't always smooth. And that's why it's so important to ask question number 7. What is your biggest challenge, difficulty, or worry in the present or future? Let's just be honest about the things that get in the way. Being really specific here is the secret. What exactly are you worried about? Is it not having enough time? Maybe the solution is to wake up just 30 minutes earlier. Naming that obstacle is always the first step to getting past it. All right, for our final section, let's look ahead. It's time to dream a little and paint a picture of what your future could look like. Here's a wonderful question to get us started on that. Number 5. What is something in the future that you hope to see happen? Why? This is your chance to think really big. Just imagine your life, say 10 years from now. What do you see? And even more importantly, why does that vision matter so much to you? That why is the fuel that will keep you going. Okay, now for a really fun what-if kind of question. Number 8. If you could travel in time, would you like to travel to your past or future? Why? So what's your pick? Would you go back to the past, maybe to relive an amazing memory, or even fix a mistake? Or would you jump into the future to get a sneak peek at your success, or just to see what happens? There's no wrong answer. It's just a fascinating choice. Let's zoom out a bit from our own lives and think about the future of the world. Question number 9 is, what future technology are people more likely to see in real life? Stuff like flying cars or maybe even homes on other planets. Just look at these ideas. Which one seems most real to you? Try to explain your thinking. For instance, you could say, I think flying cars are likely because our traffic problems are getting so bad. What's the logic behind your guess? Okay, for our last big question, let's bring it all back home, back to you. Number 10, imagine your life some years in the future. How many years is it from today? What will you be doing? Why is it important? Really be specific here. Try to paint a clear picture. When I am 40 years old, I will be living near the ocean and running my own small business. And then explain why that vision is so meaningful to you. That's how you connect who you want to be with who you are today. So, we've gone on quite a journey through your past, your present, and your future. So here's one last thing to think about. What single word would you use to describe your personal story so far? Is it growth, maybe adventure, or learning? Just take a second to think about it. That one word might just be the theme of your entire story. Thanks so much for joining me today.